Let me ask you, if you're hunting right now and it was your weapon of choice, you got to take one weapon. What's it going to be?
What am I hunting?
It's whitetail season right around the corner. What it's going to be? What's up, everybody? Pinche Ben here. Welcome to another episode of the Cast&Blast podcast. I'm joined with my co-host, Jimmy Trent.
Hey.
Man, we've been working hard on getting ready for hunting season, and hunting season is here, Jimmy.
Right now.
And a lot of people say, you know, we're kind of behind the power curve, but we've been putting in a lot of work on the property, getting that place ready. We haven't really had a lot of time to go get our weapons ready. And here we are.
Hey, we're close.
Yeah.
We're close. We're close to having those ready.
Yeah, so we went and got, after our last podcast, you guys were joining us. I missed a shot.
So did I.
And with that said, we started kind of like, hey, man, maybe I should go get my weapon zeroed and this and that. And during that process, we ordered new scopes, huh?
Yeah, and we kind of thought about, we're like, hey, let's pick our weapons of choice that we want for this season, that we're going to use to take whatever animals we're going to use.
So we've been bird shooting with our shotguns. We are talking weapons of choice, and that's pretty much what our podcast is going to be about today. And let me ask you, if you're hunting right now and it was your weapon of choice, you got to take one weapon, what's it going to be?
What am I hunting?
It's whitetail season right around the corner. What it's going to be?
So, you know me, I'm kind of a diehard bow hunter, but now, after last season, you know, we shot a couple deer with a rifle, and I hadn't shot a deer with a rifle in a while. I've been strictly bow hunting, but it felt good to get behind a gun again. So,
is it the scope? Is it the rifle? Is it like, what is it for you that felt good? Because it's a game changer having a scope with a 4x zoom or 12x zoom.
I think it was the nostalgia behind it because I grew up.
That's what you started.
Yeah, that's how I started. So it's like when you do something that makes you feel like a kid again.
Oh man, yeah, it's the memories and the triggers that bring you back, and I think that's what hunting's about, right? It's passing it on to the next generation, and it kind of brings you back to when you first started.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, man. I can relate to that.
And bow hunting, you get sucked into because you get so close to the animal and everything's so personal. You know what I mean? You're normally within 30, 40 yards at a max distance.
But you can lose yourself in that too, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah, you can. But you can also drive yourself bananas. Just drive yourself crazy bow hunting. So it felt good to go out and just pull a rifle out and be like, all right, man. I mean, what was that shot that we took on that last day? Probably.
That was pretty close to 300 yards.
Yeah, somewhere around. You're not going to get that with a bow shot.
That was so much fun, man. So we ended up last season with, we had some hunters that day.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
we had
a veteran out there that day.
I'm trying to remember who we had that day.
That was Mr. Reeves.
Mr. Reeves. Oh, yeah. So that was so much fun, man. So we had him in a blind.
Mm-hmm.
He had bought a couple of tags from us.
Yeah, 2 tags.
Yeah, so we got him in the blind, and it's getting late, and we know it's the last day of hunting season for us.
And we saved a tag for us.
And we had a tag, and we were just going to kind of go and glass this field that we hadn't really had a chance to look over. It's such a cool story for me. So we know this place is holding deer.
Yeah.
We know we didn't have a feeder set up there.
No, it's all open.
It's all open field. And there's a lot of food there for them, though. It's almost like a giant food plot.
Yeah, especially last year.
Yeah.
A lot of cover crop.
You got a hard tree line there with just...
Like it's an L tree line there. And then with woods on... It'd be woods on the north side and the east side.
So we decided to go and try to go crest this hill, and it's getting late. It's getting late in the evening.
Yeah, we were...
we had about, I would say maybe 10, 15 minutes of daylight left. I'm not exaggerating.
No, yeah, that's about what it was.
And we get to go crest this hill to go glass the field to see how it's looking. And we kind of talked about it. We're like, man, it's getting late. It's the last day of hunting season.
We sat in the truck. It's not a far walk, but we sat in the truck for a minute and looked at each other and said, man, I'm tired. Yeah. Is it even worth it? Because we're going to have to put in effort to get up this hill.
Yeah.
We said, is it worth it?
And we get down there, crest the hill, And we were both on our hands and knees crawling over the hill, got our rifles slung over our backs. We're trying to be quiet, and we're, getting close to where we're going to crest the hill, and we know we could spook them. We know that we can get winded, and we're just kind of taking a risk. In doing so, you were about maybe, 5 yards ahead of me. You weren't far.
Yeah, not far. And we're trying to cut those angles because the wind that day was not in our favor. Yeah, right. So we're trying to cut angles, hitting the wind indicator and being like, okay, hey, this is going to be close, but we're going to give it a shot.
So we're kind of single file so that, less of a footprint, you know what I mean? And every time your knee sliding, my knee sliding, I'm just trying to kind of follow suit. You crest the hill, we both glass, we see the deer down at the bottom of the hill. We see them probably, when we first spotted them, they were probably about 500-600 yards away.
They were a good distance, yeah.
And I may be shooting that short. We decided to go a little closer, low crawl, and then finally, it's probably about 6 minutes.
Well, we were worried getting to them because we spooked some other deer trying to.
Well, they were right behind us on the right.
Yeah, we were trying to maneuver around in the woods to be unseen from the deer in the field, and we spooked some deer there.
We spooked those, and that was a big buck.
Yeah, and that buck started blowing too, and we were like, oh man, it's game over. These deer out in this field are going to be gone. But they looked our direction. That's when we hit the ground, and we just started low crawling.
So to add to this whole build of events, right? We get to the end, we crest the hill. Jimmy gets low, and he's like, "Stop!" Right? And I just get low. I think you told me take the shot, man. And it was like those movies, man. Like, hell no, man, you take the shot.
It was literally the last episode of Meat Eater that I watched, where him and Clay Newcomb was in Alaska on that moose hunt.
Oh, and they were fighting over Steve Ranella was like, "Hey, man, take the shot."
Yeah, he's like, "No, you take the shot." And he's like, "Take the damn shot." Yeah.
So that was us. I mean, we were like, "Nah, man." And I said, "I'm staying. If I take one more knee, we are spooking these deer." Yeah. So I was like, "Take the shot if you got it." And you laid there. I laid down low. You laid in the prone and took your shot, and we dropped the deer at probably last light, right before. We had legal light, but for us, hunting season was about to end right there. That's how we ended hunting season. We're about to start hunting season, and this year, man, we're super excited. We got new scopes on some rifles that we'll talk a little bit about.
We'll go through those.
We got a bow ready, probably waxing some string, probably getting some things oiled up.
Yeah, just take it out, sling a few arrows. I mean, I've shot a little over the summer. I think you're going to shoot a few too.
I'm definitely going to put some down. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then we got our go-to hunting rifle.
Yep.
Which is, I think we got 2 different ammunition. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then we got a novelty weapon of choice.
Or fun, like we want to take a pig, probably pig or coyote, something like that. A non-game animal.
Yeah.
That maybe some predator or hog control this year.
Yeah, we're
have fun with.
We're definitely fighting a never-ending battle with predators and hog control here in Texas. So we've been doing some practices to kind of limit the effect of that, and we can talk about that maybe on another podcast. How we've been trying to raccoon proof our feeders and do some stuff like that.
It's impossible.
It's absolutely impossible. Proven to be true.
They're crafty, man.
That we got cattle, we got all that just trying to eat all our corn, and but it's been a lot of fun watching the game cams, seeing what's coming out. We're seeing some very promising looks for this year.
We got to run those real soon. It's been a little while, so we got to get out there and.
So, man, let's talk about weapons, right?
Well, so to answer your question, you asked what I'd use this year. I think I'm going to go with the rifle this year. That's going to be my weapon of choice, just for that nostalgic feel again. It felt good, so that's why.
Let's do it.
What about you, real quick? What was your beat?
Man, I have my 30-06. I think it's my field rifle now.
Let's do it. Let's talk about
it. That's my 30-06. That's my rifle, man. So let's talk about yours first. We got them sitting here. Let's bust out the rifle.
You want to start with rifle or archery? So we're going into bow season. Let's talk bows real quick.
All right, what you got? Are you a Oh, you got yourself a compound there. That's all right, man. Look at that. All right. What you got?
Yeah, so I'm a compound guy. So what I got here is I bought this bow, I don't know, about 5-6 years ago. What it is, it's a bowtech carbon icon. And there's some reasons I bought this bow. It's kind of a mid-grade. It's not a real cheap bow, but it's kind of a mid-grade bow. But when I bought this bow, I was hunting in Kansas, and when I bow hunt, I'm a ground guy, and I do a lot of moving, and I take a lot of grounds or a lot of shots from off the ground sitting on my butt. So anybody that's done that before, they know that if you got a long bow, it's hard to do. So I bought this bow for that reason, because it's a short bow. It's 31 inches from axle to axle. So what that allows you to do is when you're sitting down on the ground and you're drawn back, you have freedom of movement and your cams aren't hitting the ground.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and I was putting in a lot of miles.
Which it kind of looks it still looks big, if you know what I mean. It just looks like
if you had, most of them are like 32, 33, 34 axle to axle, and on up. I mean, they can get pretty big, but another reason I bought it is because I walk a lot. I mean, you've been out there, you see I like to walk. This bow naked only weighs 3.2 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So it's a super light bow. And that was the reason I bought this bow.
But you're carrying that thing in your hand the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a difference. That's something different than rifle hunters can expect.
So you can get a pack and put them on your pack and carry them that way.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with that at all.
There's different slings and stuff you can get. But
so do you got to carry a quiver for that and all that?
You do, but it attaches too.
Yeah.
And I have it back here, but it attaches to the bow. And there's some upgrades I had to do to it. I put a trophy taker drop away rest on it, which is super. It's a good rest. I enjoy it a lot. And I put a CBE SL4 sight on it. I'm a 4-pin kind of guy. I even set my pins weird. I do 15, 25, 35, 45. I don't like to shoot past that, but I'm confident at 45 and in, very confident. So I paired that with what to me is the most badass arrow ever made so far. And what this is a Victory VAP SS. It's every one of my arrows weighs either somewhere between 500 and 502 grains, with a QAD Exodus 125 broadhead on it. So
that thing looks sharp, bro.
They're small. It's a very small fixed blade, but they're devastating. I mean, shot placement, you got to be confident in your shot, but shot placement, they're good. So
it looks like a carbon fiber arrow.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. It is carbon fiber, and it's inlaid with steel, so it's like a radial tire.
It's got good weight to it,
like a steel braided tire. If you were to cut that open, there's steel braids in there too, so it's a pretty robust, badass arrow.
Now, do you use like a lighted Nox or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I got nocturnal lighted Nox on them as well. And when I built these arrows, like I weighed every vein that went on, every knock, every insert, every broadhead, because one of them may be 1 or 2 grains off of what the package weight says, So at that point, then I start matching them to different arrows with different veins, different, So it's pretty painstaking, but it's fun to do. It's something I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, it's a good looking arrow, man, and sure it flies true as you can aim. So that's gonna be something you get dialed in early, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's dialed in now. I mean I can take it out and go hunt with it right now,
sure.
But I just want to sling a few more arrows.
So for me, man, as you know, but maybe people don't know, is I have that torn bicep.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
With my torn bicep, I never got it reattached, so my bicep's in my shoulder. So because of that, I can't draw.
Mm-hmm.
I shoot left-handed. It sounds weird, but I would draw left-handed. And I know you can say, well, you can draw or, this and that. But either way, I've tried both.
If you don't feel comfortable shooting
I don't.
In your non-dominant hand, there's no point of doing it.
Yeah, it just doesn't work for me. So I use a crossbow.
Yeah.
And it works for me, and I'll share you what I got here. So I have not a very expensive crossbow, but what I aimed for was feet per second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a saga, I don't know. And
I say saga.
Yeah, that's what I say. I think there's a different brand with an I in it, and that's a different name. But this is my crossbow, man. It has a scope. I know that you know, it's not a magnified scope. It's just, you know, crosshair. You know, so I use this, and I know I even struggle like drawing this and setting it. Just with my torn bicep, like every time I use that arm in that manner, I have my limitations.
So that's the pull.
That's the pull, man. And every time I do that, I re-tear a little bit of that bicep. Whatever scar
and pinching and
whatever scar tissue is adhering to whatever it grabs, you know, over time. That's how this arm works, and I try not to push it to the limit. But man, this has been fun to hunt with. This is my crossbow, and I'm glad that I can use this and still have that advantage of early bow season.
Archery hunting.
Archery, yeah. And to be quite honest, I'm going to try to challenge myself to use this more this season. You were talking about what's your go-to.
Mm-hmm.
My 30-06 is my go-to. But I think I'm going to try to pull this out and use this a lot more this season and see what I can acquire. It's going to be a lot more pigs than whitetail.
That'd be cool, man. We'll flip-flop. I'll get behind
right?
the rifle.
Yeah, you're usually bow hunting, so this year you're gonna take the rifle out. You'll see me with this out. So
I still
that'll be
plan
fun.
on shooting some pigs with a bow. Though.
Now this thing isn't as light as your.
No, yeah, I wouldn't
unfortunately,
think so.
Yeah,
that's a little more than.
Yeah, but it's still not bad,
no,
and it's super comfortable to carry around. I got a collapsible buttstock if I want to. You know, this is just pretty cool, man. It's got 400 and I think it's got about 405 feet per second.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah.
And the only thing about it is I got to be super careful with the safe.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm switching from safe to fire. It's got a very metallic click. And I wish crossbow makers would come out with a wooden safety mechanism. That way, if it made that click, it would sound like a breaking branch, instead of a metallic foreign click to what animals hear and they go, what's that? You know?
Yeah, that's I guess that's been an issue with not only crossbows, but
safeties in general.
Yeah, safeties in general, man. I mean, it's a
very foreign sound to,
especially at metallic click out in the woods. That's not something that.
So I've learned how to ride it forward and
super slow and
ride it forward real slow, and I have that ready. So. But yeah, just like you're using the field tips that are weighted the same way as your broadheads, and then you get yourself dialed in, and then you use your broadheads and shoot a couple and get ready to go, man.
It's so fun. There's something so thrilling and intimate about bow hunting when you
definitely got to get closer, man. And I think that kind of increases the challenge of hunting, man, and it really makes you feel like you earned it.
I have this badass video that it's super grainy, but I wish it wasn't. Of me in one of the big open fields on the property we hunt, and just like low crawling with my bow up into a bunch of pigs, because it was just
I've seen that video.
Yeah, like and then just standing up and
you were within like 20, 30 yards.
It wasn't too far. Yeah, but I showed that video to some people, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing on your belly crawling up the pigs?" And
that looked so badass
with a bow, and I was like, it was fun, man. I don't know.
Looked like it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, it was cool. So, we got some...
so that's archery.
I think we both plan on doing some archery hunting this year for sure.
Yeah, definitely, especially turkey.
Yeah, I love archery turkey hunting. It's not easy. That is...
I want to do it, man.
It's
That's going to be the way... I mean...
I've killed quite a few turkeys with a bow and never once set in a blind doing it.
I don't want to blind. If I can get away with hunting out of blinds this year, I want to try. As a matter of fact, I have blinds set up and all that stuff. Obviously on our property we got blinds set up, but down in South Texas, I got blinds set up and everything. I'm going to challenge myself to kind of go outside of that and take a different shot.
It's a little more challenging. It's fun though.
Yeah, because I've just had so much more fun spotting stalking. I mean, I have in South Texas, I got to use the Sendero, so I got to use that clearing with you seen it. You know, there's
no other way.
But I will get creative and blind up in a spot that I can kind of get comfortable in and just take my shot. So that's what I'm gonna do this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your go-to rifle this year? What are you going to be?
So my go-to rifle is my Tikka T3. It's a Tikka T3 Light.
I like Tikkas. Tikkas are good.
This is a left-handed, obviously.
Wrong-handed.
Yeah.
No.
And this is my field rifle, man. It's stainless. I don't have to really worry about it getting banged up or, you know, beautiful wood grain stock or anything like that. This composite stock works for me. It's a little lighter, actually. I have this scope mounted on it as I put on it last year, and I actually enjoy this scope. I know it doesn't have the long range zoom that you would want on, say, a 30-06 or a long, you know, shot rifle, but for where we hunt, I have to acquire a target pretty quick sometimes, especially hog hunting, and this is perfect. I mean, I can acquire a target really quick within a running tree line or something like that. You know, it's just there. We've seen a lot of hunters make that mistake. They go out there, they got this really great zoom in.
I don't know how many times that happened last year.
And they got it zoomed into, you know.
So we get out there, you know, they'll have a, 4x12 scope, and then they get out there and they see an animal, and we're like, hey, there's your animal, take your animal. They bring their scope
and
up,
they're just trying to acquire.
I can't find it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, your scope's all the way in. And then by the time they fix that issue, the animal's gone, and you're like, so sometimes too much scope is bad.
It can be. You know, there's guys that, you know, shoot animals from 800 yards plus, no closer, and that's perfect for you. But for us that we're spotting stock and we're getting out there close and we want to take a shot, that's
a good looking gun too.
It's been good to me. Bolt action, of course, you know, and this one is just super, you know, it's just, the way I look at it is it's kind of ruggedized.
Yep.
You know, it's not your pretty rifle and that you can't take out there and get scratched. Like I mean, we've taken this out and we've been rained on, we've, you know, all that. And it's been my all reliable.
Yep.
I had it dead on and, it's been.
What made you pick 30-06?
Childhood memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad, he was a 30-30 or 30-06 guy.
30 caliber bullet or nothing.
Yeah, and when I went to go shop for my hunting rifle, I wanted to find a 30-30, like my dad's. You know, he had an old like lever action 30-30 with iron sights. You know, and I couldn't find that in my price range. And I found this one at a gun store that actually had it on like consignment or something, and it was just left-handed bolt action. I was like, yeah,
it's the one for me.
It was meant.
Yeah,
it was priced right, and I went and grabbed it, and it's been my favorite rifle.
No buyer's remorse on that.
Absolutely not.
That's cool.
And I don't do a lot to my rifles, like, you know, get them worked or anything like that. You know, I clean them. I work them and, you know, try to get, you know, everything working functional, and then I go out there, sight it in, and I'm hunting with it. I know some people want like a trigger light, hair trigger
I'm sure
pull.
you can adjust the trigger on that if you want. I mean, there's adjustments and things you can do.
Yep.
Before you go buy a new trigger, see if you like it.
Yeah. Well, I might look into that. I don't know any better, so that's what I use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like you, man. I too am going to use a 30-06 this year, and
nice.
A few different reasons behind it. But this is a Savage Model 111, paired with one of the Vortex Crossfire 2 Hog Hunter, the 4x12s. And when we were looking at scopes, you know, the other day, we both bought a Vortex scope, and I was like, I think I want to roll with this one because we plan on doing some green light hunting.
Yeah.
And that 56 millimeter objective lens lets in a lot of light. And so this is marketed as a low light scope. And just like you said, with your gun, man, it's This is not a fancy rifle. It's not a super fancy scope. It's a ranch gun.
Yeah.
Right. So synthetic stock, not that beautiful wood like you said. Not beating it up, scratching it up, putting dents and dings. And that's I'm not going to say it's a cheap scope. It's a quality scope, but as far as scopes are
good brand, but it's not one of their highest.
Exactly. So it really fits the bill of what we plan on doing.
Yeah, it's going to serve you well.
Yeah,
that's for sure. That's what matters.
It's going to fit that bill. So one thing I don't like about, there's a couple things I don't like about this gun, but for a ranch gun, I'm not too concerned about it. But Savage in general, I've had a couple different Savage rifles, and I've never been a fan of the whatever bluing process they do.
I see it now.
They rust so easy, and I don't know what that is. And the only other thing I don't like is this bolt. So it's just not a nice tight bolt. It's kind of like Wee Man hooking up with Jenna Jameson or something, So I'm not a fan of it. But
Tic Tac in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but it works, man. So it's a thin barrel, but it does shoot well. And if you get more than five rounds down it pretty quickly, that barrel heats up and you kind of lose a little accuracy. But for the range that we shoot at, man, it's going to be great.
Get closer to this mic. You talked about green light, man, and here's my novelty weapon.
Yeah.
This is my 9mm Ruger PC9.
Dude, it's such a cool gun, man.
This is so much fun. It is 100%.
So let's talk about novelty weapons. What are you getting at here? So we both chose a weapon or a gun that we have.
Bro, where I'm getting at.
That we want to have fun with this year.
People are going to kill you for having a 9mm out there hunting with. But what are you hunting?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. And are you having fun?
Whatever you want, if it's legal.
This is a Ruger 9mm, uses my same mags that my pistols use. I can literally pull a pistol. And I bought this when everybody was out buying shit paper, bro. I went and bought this.
Dude, it's such a cool gun, though.
It's super.
And for any naysayers that say it may not be a capable gun, it's very capable, and it's proven. We've seen it, done it. It's proven. It's done,
bro. When you can completely take this, break it down, you know what I mean, and take the barrel. I don't know if I can do it laying down, but you basically just take it apart and then fold it in, and it's done, But I keep a green light on it. I got this cheap little Bushnell red dot. It's perfect for acquiring a pig. We proved that this last season, and I use this little green light to shine on them at night, man.
I was reading a forum the other day, or a thread, a group, whatever you want to call it. And there was a gentleman asking, he's got the same gun. He said, hey, I want to deer hunt with it this year. And you wouldn't believe the hate that he got out of that. But that gun is very capable of taking a white-tailed deer,
Heck yeah.
At a reasonable range.
Man, and I'm telling you, this thing is so cool, bro. You just try and get it to turn.
Thought you were about to break a nail.
Bro, put this in your backpack, bro. Yeah. Get out and bug out, and you carry 9mm light rounds. Dude, this thing is so cool, so much fun.
That's what's cool. It's like you said, it's your regular 9mm Luger. Like you're packing the same ammo that you got in a handgun. So
yeah. So and who could say who's to say you can't hunt with it? Who's to say you can't hunt with 9mm? No. I mean, everyone's like, well, why would you want a 9mm rifle? Why not?
I want one.
So it works for me. I have fun shooting it. I have fun plinking with it. I like that it's a weapon that I can pack up and
it'll damn sure kill a pig because
we have
seen it done.
So that's my novelty weapon. What is your novelty weapon?
So it's
for this year.
A little smaller.
A slingshot? Oh, no.
Not much more than. So what this is a
so cool.
It's a Thompson Contender. My dad gifted me this pistol many years ago. He had it. He built it, put the Packmeyer grips on it and the scope and everything, leupold scope. So it's really cool. Thompson Contenders, they do have rifles, but these Contenders are, built as break action
single shot
pistols.
Hell yeah.
And what's unique about them is, well, they have interchangeable barrels. So I think this particular one's chambered in 22 Hornet. And the other day when we were talking about us both missing a shot, this is the pistol I missed that shot with at 100
We're not going to
yards.
let that go, are we? That's all right.
Yeah. But you can shoot center fire and rim fire.
That's cool, man.
Ammo out of this with the selector switch that's here. So that's pretty cool. And with those interchangeable barrels, don't get me, somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, but I think you can go from like 22 Hornet all the way up to like 45-70. And that's a freaking hand cannon, man. You can get different length barrels. And I mean, there's so many different calibers that you can get on this gun, but they're super cool, man. I like them. They're fun to shoot. They're fun to hunt with. So this is going to be my novelty weapon of choice this year.
Good weapon of choice, man.
It'll be cool.
It's fun. It's fun. I know it was fun having it in the blind the other day. It's gonna serve us well.
You're not gonna reload quick.
Well,
you're not gonna.
You might want to take a good shot then.
The thing is, there's definitely a downside to this thing. Is if you don't have a solid platform or rest, don't even try to shoot it at an animal. You know what I mean?
We were using a shooting stick that day, so
yeah, and I felt pretty. Yeah, that was pretty solid and pretty good. But yeah, that's my unique or novelty weapon choice of the year.
Well, we wanted to share those with you guys because we are getting ready for hunting season, and we know you're getting ready. That's what we'll be taking out there with us this year. If you're hunting out there with us this year, join us, and maybe you can take a shot with one of these. It's nothing special. We don't claim to have some very expensive toys or anything like that. We get what gets the job done. Yeah, and that's another thing. You know, we get a lot of people asking us, like, what kind of weapon do I need? What should I get? This and that. Get what works for you.
Yeah, get what, yeah.
You know, my wife shoots a 308. It works for her. I got the 30-06. That's what works for me.
We both got other weapons. I mean, I got other rifles and things like that, but it's...
I am trying to narrow it down where I don't have to stock so much different calibers of ammunition.
Yeah, sure.
You know? So,
yeah, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's not getting any cheaper. It's not getting harder or easier to find. And, you know, I also, it's a whole nother subject. Like, I don't like wasting ammunition.
No. Man, we could go off on different rounds and calibers and how hard it is to find. I mean, that's a whole
I think you would agree that these are some real basic tools for hunting that, you know, maybe everybody can get, and that'll do the job.
They get the job done. And like you said, ammo, you're always going to be able to find 30-06 ammo. And with that caliber, I don't think there's anything in North America that you can't take down with the 30-06. So there's so many 30-06 haters out there. Not as many 6.5 Creedmoor haters, but there's a lot that knock on the 30-06. But it's one of my favorites.
We always bring up the 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the one thing about these weapons and what, you know, we can ask our viewers, you know, what is your weapon of choice? Drop it in the comments. Let us know what you hunt with. If there's something we busted out and you'd be like, there ain't no way in hell I'd bring that out in the field and hunt with, let us know in the comments. But, you know, we just wanted to share with you guys as we're getting ready. Like you said, this weekend we're going to be out there. We're going to be doing our first hunt.
I'm ready. Yeah.
We got our booked hunters are already ready to go. We'll be following up with that, bringing some content out for you guys. Man, anything else?
No, man, I'm pumped. I'm ready to get out there. I want to see you get behind that crossbow. Let's sling some arrows out there, and maybe we'll both do a archery hunt together at the same time.
That'll be fun.
We shoot 2 pigs, 1, 2, 3 pigs. Shoot, go.
That'd
be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, man, we're going to wrap it up, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We just wanted to share a little bit of what we're doing to get ready. Hunting season's here. If we're not in the field, we're here cleaning weapons, getting them ready and doing that. We've got that stuff taken care of, so we're ready to get after it, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying these podcasts. We'll be dropping them every week, so we're trying to have a consistent schedule for you guys, and we're still trying to figure out what day works for us. So once we get it all dialed in, we'll let you guys know that consistently you can see this.
Hey, that's easier said than done.
It really is, you know, but I hope you guys are enjoying every week. We're trying to do something and improve, whether it's adjusting the camera, adjusting the mic, you know, post-editing, all that stuff. We're doing our best to bring you quality content, guys.
Building a new set.
Yeah, this wall of death behind us, you know, it's not because there's a lot of taxidermy on it. It is that we almost died moving it.
Or building it when it's 110.
we're having a lot of fun filming these podcasts, guys. If you're enjoying these, make sure you're sharing it with someone else who lives and enjoys, cast and blast, which is just fishing and hunting and enjoying the outdoors, anything in between.
Like beer drinking, bullshitting.
Yeah. That's
what
right,
we do
man.
best.
Cheers. I'll drink to that. Hey, man, we're going to wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and make sure you're sharing with your friends. Let them know that, hey, man, these are some, guys just like us that don't claim to be experts, and they're sharing some content. So, man, Pinche, Ben, and Jimmy signing out. Peace.
See ya.